when it is becoming more and more easy to manipulate and control people on a massive scale like never before. I mean, the new technology, it's not just that we invented technology and then we have good democratic countries and bad authoritarian countries, and the question is, what will they do with the technology? The technology itself could change the balance of power between democratic and totalitarian systems. Yeah. And I fear that the new technologies are giving an inherent advantage, not necessarily overwhelming, but they do tend to give an inherent advantage to totalitarian regimes, because the biggest problem of totalitarian regimes in the 20th century, which eventually led to their downfall, is that they couldn't process the information efficiently enough. If you think about the Soviet Union, so you have this model, an information processing model, which basically says we take all the information from the entire country, move it to one place, to Moscow, there it gets processed, decisions are made in one place, and transmitted back as commands. This was the Soviet model of information processing. And versus the American version, which was, no, we don't have a single center. We have a lot of organizations and a lot of individuals and businesses, and they can make their own decisions. In the Soviet Union, there is somebody in Moscow. If I live in some small farm or kolkhoz in Ukraine, there is somebody in Moscow who tells me how many radishes to grow this year, because they know. And in America, I decide for myself with, I get signals from the market and I decide. And the Soviet model just didn't work well because of the difficulty of processing so much information quickly with 1950s technology. And this is one of the main reasons why the Soviet Union lost the Cold War to the United States. But with the new technology, it might become, I mean, it's not certain, but one of my fears is that the new technology suddenly makes central information processing far more efficient than ever before, and far more efficient than distributed data processing. Because the more data you have in one place, the better your algorithms, and so on and so forth. And this kind of tilts the balance between totalitarianism and democracy in favor of totalitarianism. And I wonder, what are your thoughts on this issue?